that on your own too. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay down. I'm gonna extend my legs. I'm gonna let my body do what it naturally would want to do here. And that is let my legs turn outward. Toes fall out, heels are in. Hands plop on the ground, arms plop on the ground. Mine happen to be face up. And then I adjust a little bit for anything that I might want. I like to kind of tuck in my shoulders. That pops up my chest. I like to tuck in my chin. So I can have a nice long neck there. And that can really release a lot of stress just by doing that. Having our body in a nice aligned state. Eyes can close if you like. Let's get into maybe a 3-part breath rhythm here. Taking breath in and out through your nose. Let's go ahead and take it down into the belly. Release it back in towards your lower spine. Now focus on more of the 3rd chakra area into your solar plexus area to get the breath from the belly, making sure also the solar plexus area rises too. Which might mean a little deeper breath, a little slower breath. Just taking slow, deep breaths can help us calm. Now let's take that 3rd part breath, maybe a little deeper, maybe a little bit longer, so we feel our chest, our heart space rise up as well. Belly, Manipura, 3rd chakra, into our heart. And releasing as such, heart, solar plexus, belly. Few more breaths like that. Let's try to keep those long, full breaths throughout our class today. Let's go ahead and bring our heels in towards our hips. And just to begin with, take intent. Knees together, take your feet apart a little bit more. Take another couple full, slow breaths here. So Evelyn, I know you asked for hips, so we'll definitely do hip opening, but we'll also do hip internal rotations and also some rotations 360 degrees with the hips today. And then bring your feet in, legs squeeze together, squeeze everything in here. We've got a really neutral place here that we've found for our legs, our hips. Our glutes are 4. And then release your legs, open them up. Let the soles of your feet come together. Let gravity assist you with releasing. Release any contraction in your glutes right now. We're going to contract them in a bit, but right now, everything is loose. If this is a lot or too much, you guys can take the blocks underneath your legs, okay? And that will support them from maybe too much opening if you're not ready or wanting that. Chin is tucked, heart is open, breath is steady, long, deep, fresh. One more big full breath. And now go ahead and squeeze into just your left glute. Notice how that squeeze into the muscle lifted that whole bent leg up on that side. Squeeze just a little bit more as you keep breathing. Full deep breaths still. And then release that left glute. Yeah. Squeeze into the right. That focused energy into there, trying to release the left one. It's going to want to squeeze too. Just squeeze into the right side, trying to focus contraction there and expansion or release on the opposite side as you still breathe. And release that right glute down. And now we are going to squeeze both. Take your energy into both sides. Pull in muscles of the glutes into your hips. At the same time, if you like, add a little bit of connection between your soles of your feet. A little more oomph there, if you like. Continue to squeeze into those glutes, opening up, externally rotating in those hips. And now everything, let it go. Relax. Take your hands on the outside of your thighs, slowly bring them back up. Okay. And then from here, pick your feet off the ground, take your knees into your chest, tuck your chin a little bit more. Find wherever connection your hand can reach to the opposite hand or arm. Flex into your feet if you like, or point them, or just let them go. Just be aware of what you're doing here. Keep that chin tucked. We are in wind removing pose. This is where you guys on mute have so much of an advantage on me, because if you let your gas go right now, your flatulence release, nobody knows but you. I cannot do that. But this wind removing pose is all about coming into the digestive system, coming into that third chakra area and cleansing, detoxing, clearing stuff that no longer serves us. And release both legs out, straighten them all the way out of that bind. And then just take your feet and knees and legs and go wiggle wobble inward and outward, letting that blood flow release again, and having those feet going as fast or slow as you like, kind of rotating on your heels. And then relax. Let those legs just go apart again. Let your left leg stay extended on the ground. Right one bends, pulls in. Take your grip underneath that kneecap. Bring your knee towards your right shoulder. And as we're here, let's multitask and take some circles with your right foot there, your ankle. Continuing to use bicep strength. Bringing in weight onto your ascending colon. Go ahead and release in the opposite way. Keep breathing. Keep squeezing, keep pulling, keep rotating. And from here, exhale, release that leg. Let that fresh blood flow there. And one more time, let's go ahead and just windshield wiper feet and the lower leg in a bit. And relax both out. Feel that tingling of the fresh energy into our legs, and letting our right leg just be. Bring in the left. Find the opposite grip. So you're taking your hands in the opposite cross over, meaning all the rest of the fingers cross in that opposite way that's less common for you. And continue to pull in that left thigh into your descending colon. And if you like, go ahead and take some circles. Feel that in your actually calf and quadricep. And feel that muscle movement into my chest, and circle around in the opposite way. I'm still reminding myself, and I'll remind you to keep that chin tucked in. Pull a little bit more, squeezing in. letting your foot come to stillness. Pull a little bit more and exhale, releasing arms. Oh, release that leg. Feel that fresh oxygen, blood flow, and flippy floppy. And breathe. Good. And then go ahead and take both of your feet back up towards your hips. Arms come out so that you are at a place where you guys are, those blocks were blocking you all that time. And let's take our left foot in towards the center a little bit more. Take the right foot over, okay? And from here, we're going to let our hips come over, legs over, hips over to the left. Take my gaze over to the right and feel that stretch all the way through the spine and the vertebral spine, the cervical spine. Feel that opening in your glute right here that you just worked a little while ago. Breathing. Inhale your knees up. Take your gaze up and then exhale your knees to the other side. Feel the difference in that opening. Now, one side you will have felt the glutes more, and one side you're going to feel the hip flexor more. And I'm looking into the opposite direction. And I'm inhaling my knees back up, pointing them towards the ceiling, and this time move with a dynamic breath. So exhale, legs come down to one side, look to the other side. Inhale, lift them up to center. Exhale, take them to the other side. Gaze is in the opposite direction. Lift. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale, let those legs come over. Inhale up one more time each side. Exhale, gazing over, bringing myself up. Exhaling myself over. Bringing myself back up. And let's see how fast you can flip those legs. So the opposite foot is grounded and the other one is over. The other grounded footed leg. And now I'm going to take my legs over to one side. You decide which one you want to start with. So I've taken them to the left, and so I'm feeling that right hip flexor opening up there. Taking my gaze over, letting my breath relax my twist here a little bit deeper, not by forcing, just with breath, gravity, just with breath. Inhaling those knees upward. I look up to that beautiful blue sky, and then I'm releasing my legs over to the right, gazing over my left shoulder, breathing into this a few times. The more static pose here, where we take a few breaths in recognition of it as we release a little bit deeper. And then that prepares us, bring it on up for more dynamic movement. So I'm going to exhale, take my gaze over one direction, legs to the other. Inhale, bring them up, and exhale, take them on over. Bring it up with the in-breath. Take it over with the exhale. Go back up to center, and one more time each side. Take it on up, release that top leg. Let your legs lengthen out again. Maybe your hands come back down towards the feet a little bit more, and let's flippy floppy again. Toes coming in, we get that internal rotation. Toes flippy floppy out, we get that external rotation. It's so beautiful under this pine tree in this shade. It's so cool. I know today's going to be a warmer day. Go ahead and bring your feet back in. Let's do a few bridge poses. Fingers by my heels, feet flat. Inhale up. Chin is really tucked, you guys, okay? So feet are planted, hands, arms, shoulders take the weight. You can lift your chin to the chest and your head up a bit, just to prove that you're not putting any weight there. Lift those hips up a little bit more. Exhale, take a butt down. One single vertebrae at a time, coming back to that lumbar spine. Let's take it up and hold again. Press through everything but your neck and your head. Press down with your feet, arms, shoulders, and then exhale down. Let's take that dynamically. Inhale, lifts you. Exhale, takes you down. Still staying really, really conscious of not taking any extra weight into the neck, into your head. Okay, take it into arms, take it into feet, take it into shoulders. 2 more, please, with your breath. Good. And then pick up your feet. Keep your knees wide as hips or maybe a little wider. Take your hand onto each kneecap and then bring your knees in, and they're kind of in the outline of your body. Okay, so they're outside of your body, maybe more than they're inside. Flexing my feet, I'm pulling my knees in, and I'm prepping for a couple things here. I'm prepping for Malasana, and I'm for reclining Malasana, and I'm prepping for Happy Baby. So trying to keep the knees into where I've pulled them in. Gotta hold in with my muscles of my legs when I release my hands. Hands come into Anjali Mudra. The fingers point up towards my chin, taking my elbow points to the creases of my inner knees there. And I'm flexing my feet, and I'm going to just extend them up a little bit more towards the sky, towards the ceiling. And so this is where we would be if we were on the ground with our feet planted into this Malasana. This is a really good hip opener. This is how, well, they might not have their hands in prayer position, but how a lot of the world has to squat to go to the bathroom. We don't. And so we lost a lot of this ability to open up our hips as such. Not saying we all have to go outside and start squatting to do our business, but that's just what's happened, with our lives and our lifestyle. Now you can release your hands, take them to any part of your ankle or shin, or if you can reach to the outside of your feet, you can come into Happy Baby here. Trying to maintain those feet so that they are pressing into your hands and up in towards the ceiling, but knees are pulling downward, okay? So this is a push me, pull me. This is what yoga is about, is finding that reaction and that action. Breathing here. And then let's hold on to the right still. Let the left release. Maybe you have to release your hand too. And just let that leg open up. So we're opening up through the back side, through the hamstring area, through that calf. We haven't had a lot of that yet, so this is just the beginning. Then go ahead and bend into that knee. Take a hold of that foot again. Release the other leg out. Maybe you want to be supporting it on one side, or maybe you want to take it and open it up by pressing into the inside of that leg, okay? To get a little more abduction there. And then bending into that knee. Taking both hands, just finding Happy Baby one more time. And then let your knees come together, your feet come to the ground. And let's go ahead and find ourselves on hands and knees. So you can roll up, you can turn to the side into a fetal position, whatever works for you. Bring yourself up and let's come on to hands and knees here, okay? So from here, we're going to do our beloved cat and cow. So we release, set belly down, tailbone comes up, and I look up. And then I exhale, taking myself into curling into cat. So we're doing a traditional here. And then we're going to take it into rocking. And then we're going to take it into a few other phases. Get the most out of your cow. Get the most out of your cat. Get the most out of your breath. This is a really good one for matching your breath with your movement. Trying to bring some calm and steadiness. Let's do two more traditionals just like this. And then meet back into all fours here, tabletop. And now really curl your toes in. Curl the toes. Find the ball of your foot pressing into the ground. Inhale here into cow. And then take it to the flats of your feet and come back into cat. Stretching hands forward, opening up your shoulders. Bring yourself up. Balls of the feet, open up those feet, press down, look up, and take it back. Exhale. Keep following that flow with your own breath, your own energy, your own flow. Two more. Good. And then from here, let's take some circles, body circles, all the way. This is where we're in those hips. Again, moving them in all directions. And you're also working core here. Let's reverse. We're working those obliques as you take and move your hips. And then coming back into a place of stillness here, I'm going to just shift myself this way as I extend my left leg out, okay? Or one of your legs, it doesn't matter which one, really. And from here, I'm going to keep my right hand more centered, okay? Looking down at that hand. My left hand's coming up. And I'm opening up here to this one-legged side stretch. And then I'm taking my left hand down, pressing it centered underneath my gaze. Lift my right one up. It's not going to go so far. Maybe you just want to have that hand behind you, focusing on the twist there rather than trying to get into the arm and the shoulder. And then taking both hands down, lifting myself up, arms rise up, okay? And from here, gate pose, exhale over, lengthening out that side body from my fingertips all the way to the outside of my foot. Rise up here, both arms. Gate pose, come on over. Sorry, I've got a shorter shirt on today and it has creeped up. My belly's showing there. There we go. And rise up, both hands. Let's take it and dynamic. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Take it up on your breath. On over. On up. Lengthen both sides. Over. One more time each side. Come on up. Take yourself down. This arm's going to take some circles here. Getting it into that shoulder joint so that we can match that openness to what we're going to have in our hips as well. And let's take it and come in that opposite direction. And take it on over. And lift up a little bit onto my fingertips. Stay there, or if you feel like you have the strength and the courage and the ability to take the other arm up, take it up, and then bring both up. Exhale down. Take your hands forward. Bring in that leg. Plant it down. Before we go to the other side, let's just take open and close here. And let's take some circles. For forward, for back. My hips feeling really happy and open right now. So I hope yours are too, especially Evelyn. That's what she had asked for there. Go ahead and let that knee come down and take the other foot out. Toes are pointing towards me. And you've got the other knee nicely padded. Okay, so I don't know what kind of surface you're on, but I'm using a blanket to pad. I'm going to leave my left hand planted under my gaze, so I bring it in a little bit more. I open up side body there, looking, heart reaching, hand reaching upward. And then taking my right hand down and the other arm, I'm just going to take it to the base of my spine because I don't want to overextend into that shoulder by trying to lift it up. It's not going to go as far. This is a reverse twist here. But press down into that hand to help me have leverage to get into that twist. And then both hands down. And then rising up, both arms lift. Inhale. Really lengthen in through that side body. Lengthen, lengthen. And then I'm going to exhale, take myself over, press into my foot. Pull through my fingers, really open up, maybe pull that upper shoulder back a bit, looking up, bunch of birds up above me. Wow, what kind or where they're going, that's really, it's a lot of them, unusual. There we go, and bring yourself up. And exhale over. In a static way, we're going to let ourselves have a few breaths here. Opening up here in that hip flexor. Okay, you should feel that. And in through that side body. Next, we're going to take this in a dynamic fashion. Inhale, both arms up. And exhale over. Stretching it out. Inhale, lift. And exhale. This takes a lot of oblique strength here. Transverse abdominals are working as well. And all of that work into our core is going to help protect our lower spine. Let's do one more each side. Really lengthening, maybe finding more depth. Coming back on over. What are you doing out? Go ahead and take that arm and move it around. I've got a dog outside and I don't know how he got out. What are you doing out? Where's Mark?
Come here. Thank you.
There he is.
Thank you.
He always wants to get in the picture. Go around, come around the other way. Good. And then let's take it over. Let's come up to the fingertips, press down into your foot. If you like, take both arms up. This is a real strengthener for the obliques here. But only do it if that feels all right for you. Come on up. And exhale, hands come down. Hands come in front. Knee comes back next to the other one. And let's go ahead and just lift up and down 4 times. And let's take circles. 4 in one direction, 4 in the other. Good, and I'm gonna turn myself one more time this way. Go ahead and extend one leg back and push in through the ball of your foot. Lengthen through that calf, lengthen through the hamstring. And if you want, you can do a little bit of rocking here. We don't want to ever do it really too fast, okay? Especially if we're trying to open up. You don't want to be jerky or opening up too quickly into an area. Good. And then take that knee back down, place the other foot back, and go ahead and stretch it back first, statically. And then find your little rock, your rock and roll if you want. Not this kind of rock. These rocks are all around me. And knee down. All right, now from here, let's go ahead and bring our hands a little bit more forward, and we're gonna work ourselves into down dog, okay? So onto the toes, ball of the feet, lift my knees up, press back into down dog. Walk that dog. Walk out your knees, feet, hips. Finding all your length here. Finding stillness and stability. Keeping my right foot grounded. I'm going to lift my left foot up into 3-legged dog here. And from here, bending my knee, bring it towards my nose. Extend back. 3 more times. Back up, bend into the knee, and take 4 knee hip movements back, 4 forward. And then leave me bent and bring it through in between my hands. And from here, take that back foot down at about a 45-degree angle. Now you might need to take the feet apart a little bit more, okay? Find what works for you. Find the front knee and the ankle, riding on the knee, riding on top of the ankle, bringing your body up, right? Upright with the body. Finding the depth that works for you. Finding that back foot evenly pressed into the ground like the front foot is. And we now have worked our way into our warrior 1 stance. So from here, we're going to go ahead and lift our arms up. Inhale. Hips are more or less forward. Shoulders are forward. Gaze is forward. And we're going to come into cactus arms. Open up here. Squeeze shoulders together. Inhale, lift. Fingers open wide. Exhale, take it on back. 2 more. Really feeling grounded here. Only look up if you have your balance. Nice. And from here, I'm going to go ahead, take my arms. I'm going to take my left arm underneath my right, and I'm going to come into eagle arms. Find my shoulders pulling and opening up. Lift up, inhale. Exhale, taking my elbows towards, if not on my knee. Bowing eagle. Inhale, lift. Exhale, take it on down. 2 more times. When you finish, stay grounded there. Unwrap your arms, take them behind you, interlace your fingers. Let your arms pull away from the base of your spine, or let your hands stay there. We are in a half humble warrior here. If you'd like, you can take it into complete and let your head come down. Let your arms follow only if that feels right for you. Let your head totally dangle if you're coming into that full release. Let your breath release. Let your ego release. We will slowly come up from here, taking our hands back towards the base of our spine, slowly rounding out of this or coming with a straight spine, but really lifting slowly because we just had our head lower than our heart. Shoulders pull back forward, hips are forward. Release my hands. Hands come up, arms come up. Inhale here. And exhale, cactus. Squeeze. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale, take it down slowly, slowly, slowly. Hands come to the mat. Front foot comes back. And find myself in down dog. Stay perfectly happy there, or take yourself into a flow of choice, which might be into a plank on knees or not, coming into a chaturanga, coming up into a little cobra, up dog, baby here, and then finding yourself back in down dog, or just having stayed put there. And now I'm going to let my left foot stay planted. My right foot rises up high, finding length here in three-legged dog. And from here, I'm going to go ahead and 4 times knee to nose. I exhale when I squeeze in. Lengthen on my inhale. And from here, go ahead and let my hip come out and take 4 circles in one direction and 4 in the other. And then keep the knee in, bring it in between my hands, taking the width that I want between my feet, maybe moving the front foot out towards the outside of the mat more, maybe the back foot out a little bit more, but that back foot comes down, heel is behind the front part of the foot comes up towards that top left section of my mat in that direction. And then I slowly begin to bring myself up, finding my perpendicular spine, okay? Finding that front knee aligning with that ankle, hips are forward, let my arms rise up, nice length in the sides of my body here. Fingers open up. Breath continues. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, cactus arms, open heart. Look up if your balance is there. Inhale up. 3 more times. Maybe a cleansing breath on that inhale. On the exhale. Let it go towards the ceiling sky. One more here. Rising up. Finding nice length here. I'm going to take my right arm under my left. Finding myself in eagle arms here. Finding that opening in the shoulders. Pull up. Inhale. Exhale, taking my elbows towards, if not on my knee, into bowing eagle. 3 more times. Trying to maintain equal weight in my feet. Trying not to curl my toes in, squeezing into the mat with my toes, but keeping equal weight in the feet. And then on that 4th one, let yourself come over and bow here. You can stay there. You can unwrap your arms. Take that opposite grip behind you. Staying right here, opening up your body a little bit more to the inside. And let your head come down. Maybe lifting the arms only if shoulders allow. Never forcing. Really good here to let that heavy head go. To let that heavy ego go. Let your breath go. Let your hands come back towards the base of your spine if you release them up. Slowly bringing yourself up with a straight spine. Really slow here. Press in evenly to each foot, each leg. Release your arms. Inhale. Exhale, cactus. One more time here. Lengthen and exhale. Take it on up. And take it on down. Exhale. Take that front foot back behind you. Come into down dog. Walk out your legs if you like. Staying right here or finding yourself coming through that flow series. Tie on the toes. Come down. Bring yourself up. And take yourself back. Walk it out just a little bit more. Good. And then from here, go ahead and walk your feet wide forward, more towards the center. Got some rocks that have joined me here. And walk your hands back towards your feet. Let your heavy head go. Open up the back side of your legs. Bend into your knees just a little bit. Let that head go. And lengthen through your legs. A little wide-legged, semi-wide-legged forward fold here. Inhale, half lift up onto my shins, or this is a great place for blocks, but my blocks are way over there. And bend into knees. Let your head go. Lengthen, half lift. Legs lengthen. Back is parallel to the ground. Bend into your knees. Really. From here, begin to slowly lengthen your legs and just let your hips go left and right. Feeling that coming in to the top inner part of your groin area. Really let your head go. And coming to stillness. Bend into the knees just a little bit and then begin to bring yourself up to straight legs. Straight torso. Coming into a more narrow stance as we come into a Tadasana mountain pose here. And let's do a little bit of balancing. So if you need a chair or a wall, this would be a good place to get one, or a tree, anything that would help you do a little bit of balancing. So we're going to do figure 4, and then we're going to do tree. So we're going to come back to the ground. Okay. So go ahead and bend into your knees a bit, and your feet are about hips distance. I'm going to pick up my left foot. I'm going to cross it over ankle behind the knee. And I'm going to go ahead and lower down here. And this again is a great place for a chair, a great place for a wall, any place that can help you stay balanced. And I don't really have anything, so I'm going to just try to stay balanced. I'm going to try to keep my spine perpendicular, so not leaning over too much. Still trying to get a good bend in that standing leg. Holding on here, taking hands into prayer position, whatever feels right for you, but please be safe, whatever you're doing. Work at your safety zone, your comfort zone, your place where you know you're getting just what you need and want. And then from here, lengthen my leg and release that tough leg. And let's go ahead and just move our hips a little bit, move our knees. Good. And then bend into my knees just a little bit. Take weight onto my left foot now. Bend my right knee. Place that right ankle right towards the thigh side of that knee. Flexing into the foot. Staying as straight or with that leg or as bent with that leg as you are wanting, able to do. Again, if you have support, it may allow you to come a little bit lower. It may allow you to bring that upper part of your body back a little bit more, right? So doing what you can with what you have on the surface that you have. I'm on rocks, actually. And I feel myself taking those little sways, and that's good because that's indicating to me where I need to address my balance points. Okay, I take my hands to my heart center, feeling safe enough to do that right now. I'm just not going to plop forward onto these rocks, coming a little lower, and then lengthening, placing that other foot down, walking it out. Good. And I think instead I was going to do tree, but I think we're going to do a traditional tree. We're going to do a little different tree so that we can open up the front side of our quadricep here. So what I'd like you to do is find that thing that you want to balance with, bend into your left leg, hold on to your left foot, holding on here. Stay right there, balancing there, keeping the knee pointed downward. Hand on your foot, or if you feel like you have the balance, you take this hand and you take it around you and you try to hold on to the other foot, to your foot, the other foot. That would be the one on the ground. So either way, we are balancing. We are learning where that balance point is for us. And again, really good for the stretching of the quadricep. Only do it if that feels like something that feels right for you. I'm going to release and I'm going to walk it out. Shake it out. And then do the other side. So holding on to something, all right, safety first. Left leg is going to stay balanced. My right foot bends, my right knee bends, my right foot lifts. Take my right hand to my right foot, keeping my knee pointed downward. This is where you may stay and work on your balance here. Maybe you're just working to try to reach that back foot. A strap can work here too. Maybe your other hand can release and you can take a hold of that foot with both hands. And so we're just doing a little different tree pose here. It's a little more centered, I guess. Everything coming together instead of hips opening up. Got a lot of hip opening. So it's good to bring our hips back into that neutral point of alignment. Releasing, holding on, releasing that other leg, and walking it out here. And then working our way back towards the ground. Let's open up our our feet, open up the legs and the inner part of our legs, interlace fingers behind you. Take your hands up and bring yourself into just a straight spine, parallel to the ground, okay? So we're not going any lower than that. We're just getting a little more stretch in the back side of our legs. And from here, I'm going to release my hands down and I'm going to take a little bend into one knee. Really feel that on the inside of my thigh. Slowly bring myself back and then take yourself over. Let that opening happen. Breathe into the sensation of whatever that might be for you. Bringing yourself back up. Let's do it one more time each side, and let's do it as a static position where we're just going to hold and breathe, not hold our breath, but hold the pulse. Bring myself back into neutral, and one more time on this side. Back into center. From here, I'm going to walk my hands forward. Go forward as far as you are wanting to go. I'm on rocks, high on the balls of your feet. Let your hips drop into a wide-legged hanging cobra. And then flat spine, bring yourself out. Let your heavy head release. Really good for letting go in the neck here. And then from here, go ahead and bring yourself to your knees. You might want to have a blanket under your knees. You might want to have a block between you, because we're going to come into wide-legged here, toes together, and I'm going to sit back onto my heels. Okay, so you may have a block that you're going to sit upon. And from here, lift your arms up, inhale. Exhale, let's take it over. Inhale, rise up. Exhale. So we're just doing some dynamic here, little flows with our breath. Let's do one more each side. Bringing myself up, taking my hands behind me, interlace my fingers, squeeze shoulders, press my fists down to the ground, opening up my heart, my shoulders, chest, throat, and chin. Bringing myself back up into neutral. Straight spine, taking myself with straight spine forward. Nice strength in my core. Continue to let myself come down till my forehead reaches the ground. Arms can stretch up or they can stay down here at the base of my spine. Or you can lift them and then let them come down. With your breath, if you're doing that. And then otherwise, holding in nice and strongly in your core, bring yourself back up. With that straight spine, releasing your hands down. Let's take a couple breaths and we'll do just a couple more for our spine here. Not saying goodbye to it, but more or less saying thank you and giving it good gratitude for what it's done for us today. And then I'm going to take one hand to the opposite knee, the other hand to the opposite foot, being up straight and then coming into the twist. And slowly unwinding from my head, shoulders, heart, belly, hips forward, and releasing into the other side. Really long spine here. And then take it on around. Releasing again, slowly bringing myself out of that, taking some shoulder rolls, pulling them back, bringing ourselves forward. Let my chin come to my chest. Really let your heavy head go. Shoulders pull down. Feel that. Slide my chin towards my one shoulder. Okay. And then exhale, release my chin back towards the center. Inhale it slowly towards the other shoulder. Exhale it back into center. And then slowly lift that chin up. Let my gaze come up. Bridge of my nose extends upward. And then bring back myself into center. One more little thank you for our spine. Let's go ahead and go into cow. And take ourselves into cat. Few more of these, please. Two more sets. Great. And then take yourself into any seated position that's comfortable for you, for us to have our namaste together. You full, slow, deep breaths, just as we practiced at the beginning, that 3-part breath. Hands at heart center. So I thank you all for being here, if not in live streaming and coming in later and to see the class. Appreciate you all, from my heart to yours. Thank you for your ever presence. It's always a gift. Namaste.